Who's that?
Hey there, what do you say there, world? Welcome back for another episode of Races Recap. We're on season 31, episode number 2. My crew has failed me, but I brought in some backup. One of the best to ever run the race.
Woohoo!
Still holds the record for most legs won from season 20, one half of the winning team. It's Rachel. How are you, Rachel?
Great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, you got us the new partner. Who's the new partner?
Yeah, this is my new partner, my new race partner, Weis. She's almost 5 months old, so she can't wait until she's 18 and can race. Right.
That's all right. You can get the new backpack edition. You have baby up front, backpack in the back, and
There you
run with the
go.
babies.
Heck yeah.
The new mom edition of the Amazing Race.
Me and Diana will be the first.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. A lot of people from our season had babies, and they're all ready to go. So let's do it.
Yep.
All right. So Jen sent me pieces of her recap. She is skiing in Norway, where it is 1 a.m. You have to check out her Instagram story. It is beautiful where she is.
Jealous.
Ever been in that region?
Not skiing, just for work.
Oh, just for work.
Yeah, no. Work conferences aren't nearly as fun as skiing.
I definitely agree with that. So life is good since winning the Amazing Race. Everything else is dandy.
Life is good. Got a husband upgrade, have a baby.
That's great.
Yeah. And you've gotten married and you have your own little baby.
Yeah, got married, had a little Charlie. Just have the best possible little life going right now. My family's incredible. I am an extremely lucky man.
Awesome.
Charlie's an awesome little dude. Diana is just such a great wife. Cooper's a great dog.
Now all you need is a second chance to get back on the race and win.
Yeah, that $1 million would have been really nice. That'd have been the final piece of the puzzle for us. But life had other things planned for us. We got the call, but 3 days, two days later, we had found out pregnant with Charlie. So.
Oh, really? That close together?
Yeah, 2 days.
Oh wow. So you said yes, and then you said no.
Said yes, sent my passports in. We were 2 days later. Then it's like, I think I'm pregnant. Like, no, you're not. Don't worry, you're not pregnant. She's like, no, I think I'm pregnant.
Oh, did she think about doing it even though she was pregnant?
Yes, but she was like, they're gonna test us during medical week, anyway. And I'm like, it's $1 million. When are we ever going to get this chance again? Like, whatever.
Right?
Anyway, we'll talk a little bit about your season near the end of this. Let's get through the recap of the episode number 2, which was interesting. Like, Survivor. Overall, what do you think about the theme of the season? Survivor versus Big Brother versus Amazing Race.
At first, I was not that into it. I was like, meh, Survivor, Big Brother people, meh. But, I actually really love it now because all the Survivor and Big Brother people are like, oh my gosh, this is way harder. So, yeah, makes me feel pretty good about, being on the show and winning.
Yeah, Diana definitely says that. She goes, I like hearing that, like, from Survivors, who everybody thinks it's the toughest game. Survivors coming in and talk about how tough it is. And then Victor, who is a challenge beast in Big Brother, comes on and talks about how tough it is.
Yeah. Yeah, and Rupert on this week's show, this last week, he's like, I consider myself one of the best survivors, and this is tough. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just sitting around sleeping for 12 hours a day.
No, it's adrenaline rushes every day, decision-making, lack of sleeping, lack of everything, and you got to make decisions quick. You can't sit back and rely on an alliance for 30 days and then play a game for 9.
Exactly. What do you think? Do you like it?
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was an awesome that Amazing Race did it. Again, I think it would be awesome if Big Brother and Survivor followed suit. Like, Survivor had 3 tribes, Amazing Race versus Big Brother and Big Brother did the same thing. Former Amazing Racers, former Survivors against former Big Brothers in the house. Yeah.
Yeah, I was so sad that Art and JJ were the first to get out because of obviously Amazing Race. I wanted all Amazing Race people to stay in.
Yeah, they were the ones that I was worried about the most of all the teams that got recast. I didn't see why they got recast, but I'm guessing because they were the only team to really put up a fight against you guys.
Yeah, yeah, probably. And I mean, they were a pretty strong team, or so I thought. Unfortunately, this time around. Ooh.
All right, before we get to that, let's get to this before we get to the episode. Art and JJ, during your season, did you ever feel threatened by them? Was that the team that you were most worried about?
At the very beginning, I pointed them out right away as the strongest team there. So that's why we created that alliance. And uh, one of the first challenges that we had was math. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm too stressed out right now to crunch big math numbers. Like I could if I like sat down and sketched it out on a piece of paper, but we weren't allowed paper. So I was like, all right, I know how to do this. I just don't know how to math. And he didn't know how to do it, but he knew math. So right then I was like, all right, buddy.
We got a team.
I didn't actually tell him I didn't want to do the math right there. But you know, when you're just like crazy adrenaline and it's a lot to think of right there.
Yeah.
Everyone uses a calculator these days anyway, right? You grab your phone. Who does actual math?
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to grab a calculator. You can actually just ask your phones, hey
Yeah.
Siri, what's 8 times 24? And I'm like, whatever it is.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
same thing with spell check. It's like those grammar Nazis always calling me out on Facebook. Oh, you spelled it wrong. I'm like, so what? Like a spell check can fix that. Just like it doesn't make you smarter than me. It's the difference between smarts and intelligence. Like, you can be a dictionary, but if you don't know how to use that dictionary, what's the difference? Anyway.
Yep.
All right. So Art and JJ kind of let us down this season.
I know. Bummer. Yeah. No. And it was funny because they were even talking about like getting in better shape.
Losing 40 pounds, not making the same mistakes.
Yep. I mean, they were strategic, clearly just not physical enough.
All right. So this episode was pretty interesting. Art and JJ leaving on during the first episode, so everybody was kind of expecting Rupert and Laura to be the next ones to leave this episode. Let's see how it kind of played out. It starts off again. We're heading to Laos, which is I don't think it's a country that they haven't been to before, so it's a first time there in Laos. Love these types of challenges where you use the culture and you use the things like their tough languages and dancing and things like that in these countries.
That language one was brutal.
Yeah, it seems after watching both sides, it looked like the easier one, but when choosing, it's pretty tough to pick a language one when you know it's going to be language.
Yeah, and ended up being faster, but yeah, that one probably is not one that I would have picked.
All right, so what do you feel about these pre-booked flights now? Everybody was already booked on this flight. Everybody was going to be on the same flight no matter what.
I feel like that's kind of been the case for quite a few seasons at this point. Everyone has their planes. I mean, it makes it for, real competition every single leg. So it's like you have no chance to get ahead, which, I mean, kind of crappy for the teams that are getting ahead, but good for the audience because each race you have no idea who's going to win.
How many of your legs were pre-booked?
Oh gosh, I think all of them.
Yeah.
I mean, we had a chance of getting on one or another flight, so it was, an option of a couple sometimes, but they always had some kind of
roadblocks.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of points. Yeah, I mean, the only time we got to book our own flight was really on the Travelocity app, and other than that, we really didn't get to book any flights, which I think would have been an advantage for us, but whatever. I mean, if they got to cut back on a few things to save some budgets, then I get it.
Yeah. Well, and it's nice because then you don't have anybody lagging so far behind. Because some of those early on seasons, it's like, oh, there's just no chance. Like, why is these people even going to that next place? You know what I mean?
It's like 18 hours later. It's like, come on. They're
exactly.
Filming in 3 countries now. It's like, well, okay, hold on. Something's got to stop here. All right. Exactly. So they wait till the morning. And then they have to give alms to the monks, which I like these kind of stop, take a deep breath, embrace the culture moments.
For sure.
We had a couple in our season. We really got to appreciate that. Don't know if people at home appreciate it as much as the people there because it kind of seems like, okay, as soon as it's done, everybody races to get the clue, which, you're really embracing the culture, and then there's that moment when you just got to stop and just go, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I know it's kind of a double-edged sword, because you do want to embrace the culture and it's so cool and you want to take it all in, but then you're kind of like me. It's like we are in a competition to win. If you're going to slack off, you're not going to win.
Yeah, I totally agree. I only slacked off when I knew we had time to slack off, and it was usually just me dancing or trying to do something fun with the modern culture.
For
All
sure.
right, this is well, we see some strategy as people are running towards these temples. Before Eliza and Corinne are in the streets in front of a tuk-tuk that's got the Afghanimals. It's got a couple other teams in there, and they're in the streets, bobbing and weaving, so the tuk-tuk can't pass them. What do you think about Eliza and Corinne's strategy here?
I loved it. It's a little too early on to piss people off, but I mean, I like it. I probably wouldn't have done that because I don't want to make enemies early on.
Mhm.
I definitely would have done it in a later leg. I think that was a good idea. I mean, they definitely got ahead because of it.
Yeah, I really appreciated it. I know that they want to be the villains, but if you're gonna try to embrace the villain role, do something smart with that villain strategy. And that was a
Yeah.
smart villain strategy. And they wound up, one, not spending money on a tuk tuk, two, getting there before every team that was in that tuk tuk because of the strategy. I
Yep.
mean, ultimately it didn't matter too much, but I just love the thought process.
For sure.
Definitely give them a lot of props, a lot more than I had originally going in for them.
Yeah, although the Afghanimals are a strong team, so do you really want to make a strong team upset? I don't know.
Right, right. I mean, I like watching it. I like teams that are actually using some strategy to get ahead in the game. I mean, it's part of the game. It's very minor in the Amazing Race, but when you can use it and it works, it makes you seem like that much better of a player. Makes me as a super fan have a lot more respect.
For sure.
All right, so we were told by Colin that these monks were holding space for our collective consciousness. Um, he's just on a whole nother plane than we are at this point. I don't know if he's chewing on some mushrooms along the flight. He's feeling good.
All right. I'm like, they're very zen, like very zen.
Just holding our collective conscious and just revealing all the happiness and joy. It's so awesome. I'm just waiting for the flip out. Everybody's waiting for that ox moment to break when he just can't get through something. He gets so frustrated. Is he going to zen out, or is he going to go back to that old flipping out, making it rain on police officers in Africa?
I'm hoping for the latter. Come on, everybody is.
Get them all riled up.
Yes.
So Rachel and Alyssa get to the U-turn first, and the first things out of their mind is, who are we U-turning? Not are we U-turning somebody. The first words are, who are we U-turning? U-turn strategy. What was your U-turn strategy while you guys were playing?
Again, we didn't want to make enemies, so we just said, we're not going to use the U-turn. Yeah, I think that worked out in our favor. But of course, that's why Art and JJ in our season got so mad at us, because we didn't use the U-turn on Rachel and Brennan. Whatever. It ended up working out in the end.
Oh, whatever.
Whatever.
Yeah, we didn't use it the first two times we got to the board, but the first time that there was a third U-turn, I was like, it's the first time there was ever a third U-turn. I want to use it. Plus, we were, with Kelsey and Joey the whole time, and I knew that if the reporters got there, they were going to U-turn Kelsey and Joey. So I was like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not use it?
Why not?
But
if you really know that somebody's going to be knocked off, I mean, by all means, go for it. But if it's somebody who's going to be staying around, yeah, especially since ours was the first, I think we only had one U-turn, and it was kind of halfway through. So that gets a little bit scary, because you're like, ooh, there might be another one, and I don't want somebody U-turn me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And there was still the strategy of, once you use a U-turn, you can't use it again unless it's like a blind U-turn. But now I think they've dropped all that. You can use as many U-turns as you want, as much as you want, I think, is the new way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because a lot of people were waiting to use it, and then end up just never using the U-turns.
Right. Oh, that's pretty cool. I'll have to watch for that.
Yeah, well, I'm still waiting. This season they're doing the must vote U-turn. So before the leg even starts, I think everybody's got to vote to U-turn a team before they leave.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
you have to vote on a team to U-turn.
Oh, I
That's
like
from what,
that.
yeah, it's from one of the international seasons. It worked out really, really well. So Rachel's and Alyssa pick of all the teams, Team Fun. If you had to U-turn a team, what was the first? What would the team that you'd be U-turn?
Oh, probably the Afghanimals because they do seem the strongest.
Well, yeah.
Definitely not Team Fun. I think they were just rubbed the wrong way because they weren't working with them like they had thought they were going to.
Diana thought that was the case too. She said, I think it's because that they said that they were going to work with Team Fun, and then Team Fun just turned around and went the other way and left them there. So it was
Yeah,
a little bitterness rather than real strategy.
for sure. It was emotion rather than strategy.
Because to me, it's the Afghanimals and Tyler and Corey are the two teams to beat. Colin Christie, obviously a wild card. You don't know if they're going to step up to another level. They're going to be so zen that they miss out on something because they're not aggressive enough. We'll see.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
You have to be aggressive at some point during the race if you're going to win. I mean,
Yes, absolutely.
sometimes 5 seconds, getting to a place 5 seconds before another team, getting onto a train. We literally got on a train and the team was right behind us. Like it was literally 5 seconds that they missed the train by, and it made all the difference.
Yep.
Little aggressiveness. All right. So Afghanimals told Team Fun to U-turn Tyler and Corey. So now that Rachel and Alyssa picked Team Fun, which we would have to use Afghanimals. I couldn't U-turn Tyler and Corey because I like them too much as people.
Come on.
Well, I mean, he's one of the co-hosts of the show for 2 years.
Oh.
So,
but still, come on.
And we got, I got to hang out with them. They're really cool people.
Justin, you're sounding so soft these days.
No, if it was you and Dave, we'd U-turn you guys.
I think everybody would.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if me and Diana and you and Dave were on the show together, who would people want to U-turn more? I don't know if we rub people the wrong way a lot more than you did.
Maybe Diana and I need to go on the show together.
Yeah, they'd probably do better. So
then they wouldn't want to U-turn us. They'd be like, okay, these guys are fine.
Yeah,
they're innocent. Yeah.
So, Afghanimals, again, using a little bit of that strategy that they've been using all season. What do you think about the Afghanimal strategy of kind of influencing Team Fun to U-turn Tyler and Corey?
I mean, they are pretty manipulative, which, it's good strategy.
It seems like they're controlling this race both from a physical and a mental standpoint at this point. So having the advantage of being the third-time racers seems to be really paying off for them.
Yeah, definitely. Now, I'd like to see them on Survivor or Big Brother.
I don't think they'll last as long. I think their rambunctiousness will get tiring on a lot of people fast around camp.
Yeah, true.
All right, so the detour, ABC or BBQ? I don't know if we talked briefly about this off camera. ABC or BBQ, the language, or you go into the market to put together a little fish barbecue or kind of skewers. Which one would you have done as a team?
Barbecue, because that stays with our strategy. You know what our strategy is?
What was that?
Do not ever take chance. Don't go to any obstacle that is not for sure, not something that you can affect 100% on your own. I feel like language is a little bit like that. Like language is, I don't know, somebody could be like, you said it a little bit wrong, or you did it a little.
You're thinking about the judging. The judging could be a little harsher. You like something that's easier judged. Like
that's right. It's right or
way
wrong.
Or the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so interesting because Diana's strategy was a little different. She was like, when the strategy is up to somebody who can kind of make a call and it doesn't have to be perfect, it's usually better to pick that because they don't like to see you struggle as much as somebody they have to say no to you. You could be struggling forever. They have to say no because one thing is wrong. So she thought she went with like the sympathy side of it, where the judges just feels bad after a while, and they're just like, "All right, yeah, as long as you have a good spirit."
Oh, chance though. That's you never know who the judge is. That's a little tricky.
Yeah,
I don't like to
definitely.
put my winning in somebody else's hands.
No, I totally get it. I totally get it. And some people questioned one of our decisions of going for a needle in a haystack type of challenge versus one of the other challenges, but the needle in the haystack challenge wound up being a lot faster. We made the right decision, but the
Yeah,
same thing.
true.
Needle in the haystack challenges. It's like you're putting a game in chance.
Yep, exactly.
So you go in BBQ. I think Diana and I would have went ABC for a couple reasons. Anything that had to involve schools and children, Diana wanted to do. It's
Of
the
course,
teacher in
yeah.
her. So I think because when she would have saw school and children, she hated the language one. When we did the French rap, she hated the fact that I made her do that one. We wound up crushing it, but
Yeah,
she would want to do this one. I think because of the kids and the students.
yeah. And you
Because
would too?
well, I had the thought process of never doing language or dancing challenges because it seems to be the longest ones that can stretch out for hours and hours. Right.
Ah,
So I never wanted to do language or dancing or any animal challenges. Those will kind of stay away from.
animals too. Oh, I
Because,
know. And everybody wants to do the animal ones because they're so cute.
but it's like they're the most. I mean, you again later in the leg you'll see something where an animal. If an animal just doesn't want to go, what are you going to do? You're
Yeah,
going to be
like
the guy
Rupert's
on TV
elephant.
beating an elephant, trying to get him to move.
Yeah.
All right. So one thing that you did, if you did pick BBQ, you have to spend your own leg money to buy all of the stuff in the market. Would that have weighed in on your strategy?
I mean, it depends on how much money you got for the leg.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you see, they had to get like 6 fish and 4 ducks, so they had to buy
Right.
at least a bunch of stuff.
Right. But I would think things there are pretty darn cheap. I mean, the
Yeah.
market looked, yeah, like it's
Smell.
inexpensive.
So you're gonna lose some money. You're gonna smell like fish. You're gonna try to race around the market and buy stuff in a language barrier place. Seems tough as well. So I
Yeah.
think it's pretty balanced. It turned out to it looked like the language one seemed to be pretty easy or go by faster. But I think it was pretty balanced.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. But yeah, in hindsight, I would have done the language one because it was a lot faster, it seemed.
It seemed like team fun. The Afghanimals worked together at the market. Afghanimals and team fun. So it seemed like in the likely pair, the two teams that like to have a lot of fun on the race.
Uh-huh.
But I think Afghanimals are more mischievous. Tyler and Corey crushed the ABC task. Corinne and Eliza are in first place after the ABC task, which first place for any. I never pictured them being first place at anything.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, that was really surprising.
So they didn't stay there long, but they were in first place after that task. Nicole and Victor crushed the barbecue task. All right. So the way overall we thought it was pretty balanced. Both seemed to embrace the culture in one way or another. Got to incorporate kids, which is always fun. Those market challenges, which are always fun.
Yeah.
So overall, I thought it was pretty good. Pretty good detours and pretty good options, pretty balanced. Now we get to the roadblock. Who likes to be in command? It's pretty tricky because you could be like, you like to be in command, but we all know that I'm in command. So,
Right?
Who would have done this one for you guys?
A bunch of alphas. Oh gosh. Just based on the question, I'm sure Dave would have chose it.
Yeah, I think if there was a chance that we saw animals around, Diana was going to pick. I mean, if for some reason that we got this task and I was on an elephant, I'd have felt so bad because that's like her dream. She'd have been just crying like a little baby to be on an elephant. I mean, we saw an elephant in the wild in Africa and she wanted to run towards it when
Oh,
you don't.
I love seeing elephants in India. We got to see elephants, but yeah, I'm such an animal lover that I would have loved to done it if we saw that it was elephants or anything related to animals for sure.
Definitely would have picked that one.
Yeah.
So these are tough to watch. I think the people who get there last have the worst of it, and I think that was part of what happened with Rupert's. Because when the first people get there, the rambunctious animals are coming out of the gates first and getting the first ones out there. And from watching some of the behind the scenes, it said Rupert's was like the only one that had to be coaxed out of the cage. It was one of the younger ones, so it was less experienced than the rest of them with the path.
Yeah, I know. Poor guy. And he was such an elephant lover.
My spirit animal.
I know. So sad.
He's getting so frustrated. There's like a 5-minute bonus footage clip on their YouTube channel. If you go watch it, it's just him like trying to yell at this thing, but be so positive because I love you, like you're my spirit animal, but I need you to move on. And he had bananas. Instead of giving it to the animal to like feed him, he would kind of throw it ahead of him to be like, "Go get it, like fetch it to get it to move."
Oh no.
Yeah, I
Sad.
enjoyed watching Rupert a lot more than I expected to enjoy watching him.
I agree. Yeah, I was kind of sad when he got out. I was like, oh, yeah, he's pretty funny to watch.
So this we find out that from Nicole and Victor, the Big Brother team, this is her first time leaving the United States, and she's
Yeah.
getting thrown into this. And I think she's handling it really well. I think this is tough for anybody, especially people who've never left the country. Do you think it's a disadvantage to have never traveled, or do you think
Oh yeah.
everybody's just shocked?
Oh no, it's a huge disadvantage to have never traveled. She kind of looks like a deer in headlights all the time. Like she makes me nervous when I watch her.
And I think her and Victor make such a great couple. Victor seems like such a sweet guy. I got to hang out with him for a couple of days. He was really cool, really outgoing, really energetic, and they seem to be a really cute couple. I really enjoy watching them.
Yeah, they're super sweet. Yeah, definitely. And he definitely evens her out too when it comes to like her being nervous and shy about things. He's there to
Yeah,
help her out. So
he's
that's cool.
pretty calm under pressure. Um, so Rupert has massive issues with his elephant, and there's nothing you can kind of do about that. I don't know if there was much strategy. I did kind of see a lot of the extra footage as him being quiet, rather than just trying to say that word, people, or whatever it was, just say it in different ways, different fashions, different inflections. I don't know.
Yeah.
He seemed to give up a lot, but I
Hmm.
guess it's a different game. He wasn't used to it. So
Yeah.
and we get down to the nitty gritty, and Victor and Nicole actually pass the Afghanimals. They're racing to the finish line. They get out of their tuk-tuk. Nicole, and then another Afghanimals strategic move of being,
Yeah.
that's not it, it's wrong. Nicole hesitating. What? Victor's racing. Come on, let's go. Afghanimals getting out, tracking them down, hiding behind it, and then ultimately passing them and winning the leg. What do you think about the Afghanimal strategy here?
I mean, it's awesome. It's getting them first places.
So you don't think it's shady or anything like that? You think it's fair gameplay? Yeah.
Fair gameplay. Yeah. Yep. Again, I probably wouldn't have used it myself quite this early on. You don't want to make too many enemies. Don't want to rock the boat, but I mean, that's their game, right?
Yeah.
It's working.
I'm super impressed with it. It seems like everything they're trying is working, or at least everything that they're showing them try. They could be trying a million things and seeing
Right.
what sticks, but I really was impressed. It's kind of low gameplay, but it's all fair in the game. Like if you would have duped our team that way, I wouldn't have been like, "Oh my God, they're such dirty players." I'd have been like, "Yeah, that's their style. They got it."
Yeah, but you probably would have been like, yeah, I'm probably going to U-turn them eventually, right?
Yeah, I mean, considering
See?
we were first to all 3 U-turn boards, they would have
Yep.
got it at some point.
Yep. So that's
Uh,
where they kind of take a chance there.
yeah, so now they've pissed off a few teams. We'll see if it comes back to bite them.
Yep.
Afghanimals passed Victor and Nicole. They learned a valuable lesson. They wind up winning $2,500 apiece, which one of the cheaper prizes, but at least
Yeah, I was like, that's it?
yeah, it's like
Oh,
$5,000. That's great. All right, so
yeah.
Leo and Jamal finish and get their second first place victory. They are the team to beat coming out of this with the U-turn getting unscathed.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
Victor and Nicole, they finished
Yeah.
6th, and now this leg they finished 2nd, so they're getting better. I think they're definitely one of the teams to beat. Third place is Rachel and Alyssa. They were in 4th the first leg, 3rd the second leg. Pretty consistent. What do you think about Rachel and Alyssa?
Well, Rachel's from my season,
Yeah.
so I have to love all the people from my season. But yeah, they're a team that I don't think will win it, but I think they'll be entertaining to watch.
Do you think Rachel's going to be a better teammate with her sister or with her husband?
Probably her sister. I mean, she even said it that she's probably going to be a little bit more calm than she was with Brennan. her sister is more zen, so I think her sister will help her be a little bit more calm. But we all saw it come out. I mean, she was frantic again. It's just her personality. It's her style.
And then we got Colin and Christy finished second in the first leg, finished fourth in this leg. Pretty consistent, a team that we expected to see up at the top. What do you think about Colin and Christy? Old school. Can they stick around?
Like you said, it depends on if they're going to zen out or if they're actually going to get aggressive and start playing. If they're going to zen out, I don't see them winning and being at the top.
Then we got Danielle and Brittany finished eighth and then fifth, and the rest of the kind of played out. Tyler and Corey finished seventh, even after being U-turned. They beat Chris and Brent to the mat, and they beat Becca and Floyd, and obviously Rupert and Laura. Team Fun barely beat out Rupert and Laura, but they did survive a U-turn, so a lot of credit and props go out to them. Overall this season, is there a specific team you're rooting for to win, or who do you think is going to win? A prediction from you?
There isn't a team that I'm rooting for quite yet. I feel like I'm still just kind of learning who the teams are. Maybe next week, this coming week, I'll have a team to root for. As far as the teams that are strong, I mean, yes, the Afghanimals, Corey and Tyler, I think those two are probably tops at this point right now.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Next week, they are heading off to Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and we see a dance challenge. And it looks like a dance challenge with both of them, so it seems more like a detour than a roadblock.
Yeah.
Do you think, who do you think is going to have a tough time with this dance challenge? Do we foresee anybody having major issues with dance challenges?
I would have said Rupert, but we know he's not going to be in the challenge.
Yeah, I think he would have had fun.
It would have been entertaining to watch him.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Let me think about that, and you answer. Who do you think is going to have a challenge?
Yeah, I think the dance challenge is going to be. It's going to get to every team. I don't think any team is going to do well at it. I think Victor is awesome. I remember watching him dance. He's an awesome dancer. I don't know if he's good with choreography, but I know he could dance really well. Not so much Nicole, but I think Brett and Chris are going to struggle hard on this one. The two survivor team. I think if Eliza and Corinne can't get a couple drinks in them, I don't think they're going to do well at this challenge. But if they get some drinks in them, I think they'll do okay.
I don't think Floyd will do that great. He doesn't seem very agile.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't like marching band, right? So he could do that marching stuff, but I don't know if he can.
True.
And he's super expressive, which is really cool. But if it seemed like it was going to be a really tough choreographer, the guy who's like, no. So I want to see a team quit. I want to see teams push to their limits. Well, I hate seeing teams quit, but yeah. I want to see teams push to their limits at least. So speaking of pushing it to the limits, season 20, you guys set the record. You talked about so much during our season, putting more pressure on us leg after leg. You guys thinking of Rick Jack, you guys thinking of Rick Jack. You guys know who has the record?
You came so close.
Yeah, we did. Oh, gosh. Yeah, it was tough. It was definitely tough because there was a couple different legs that could have went a lot differently with one silly little thing changing everything. So your season going in, was it we're going to win every leg, or was it just like we're going to go in and be the best that we can be?
Yeah, we didn't really have a strategy when it came to like overall, what should we do? It was more just don't be last.
Don't be last.
Yeah. So there were actually quite a few times where we came in first and we were shocked. We had no idea we were coming in first, because you have those detours and you don't know where everybody else is. And all of a sudden you get there and you're like, I could be first or last. I have no idea.
You lose track of the whole day. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we shocked ourselves that we came in first quite a few times.
Yeah. When, at what point did you start believing that like this race is ours to lose?
Well, in Hawaii, when we got to the finish line, well, we shouldn't have been at the finish line. Yeah, that was kind of a bummer. Yeah, that was kind of a shock. And we just were so like dumbfounded. We had no idea what happened. We thought we won, and they're like, you know, you have to go back. And we're like, go back to what? Like, we didn't
Go
have.
back to what? What do you mean?
Yeah,
This is the finish line, right? Our
yeah,
goal is to get to
yeah.
the finish line. We got to the finish line.
Exactly, exactly. So we were like, do we have to go back in the helicopter to the other part of the island? Like, what did we miss? We had no idea. Yeah, it was
That's
pretty.
yeah, that's pretty crazy. So ultimately, what was it that helped you guys in the end?
In the end, as far as the last leg,
Mm-hmm.
oh gosh, well, finally realizing that we missed a one little sign like this big to go this way instead of that way.
Was just walking around and figuring it out.
Yeah, we were like, well, we must have missed this part of the clue. Yeah, yeah, it was pretty crazy. Ugh.
So the simplest thing, read the clue. The number one thing that everybody knows, final leg, something simple like that. Read the clue.
Right? I know,
You'd
I
think at that point
know.
you would know.
I
But
know, but what are the chances that you just like happen to run into the place that would take you to the final, you know, the
everything looks
finish line?
right because everybody's filming, right? And everything's filming. It's got to be
Yes,
right.
yes, yeah, that was pretty crazy.
It's pretty tough. Have you ever been asked back for an all-star season?
We were asked if we would want to come back, and that was not this past All-Star season, but the one before. I think it was right after our season, or shortly after our season.
24.
Yep. It was 24. Yeah. So we were asked if we would want to do it, but I was not delusional. I figured that they would want to go for second chances rather than all-stars because there's so many more characters that you can choose from. All-stars would be kind of boring because we're all super A-type, have to win. We have one goal.
Winning, that's your storyline. Winning's
Yeah,
our
exactly.
storyline.
Yeah. So I figured that they probably wouldn't go for winners edition, but I don't know. Maybe someday.
So you would race again, obviously with a different partner.
Yeah, I'd have to be with a different partner for sure.
Is,
I've asked my husband, my better half, if he would want to race with me, and he said no. Because, and he said, he's laughing over there. He said no because we hold the record. You know, Dave and I hold the record, and he doesn't want to be less than that. Which true.
I mean, yeah, you got to be the best, or you're going to constantly be compared. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah.
It's tough. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll mix up racers with ex racers, with other racers, or racers with fans. I've heard a lot of people pitching that. Like a fan and a favorite, so you get to pick like a fan gets to pick their favorite person. Whatever.
Oh, that'd be cool.
And you guys go to get paired up at the starting line and race. All right, everybody's got your fans. All right, go pick your partners, and then you just start the race. I think that'd be pretty fun. That
would be, although it'd be really hard too, because I mean, let's face it, I was in it to win the mill. What if I get a fan that sucks? Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it. It's how much can you carry it? Can you be your Zach to the flow, where you just pretty much carry somebody to the $1 million?
Right. Yeah. But when it's those challenges where they're on their own, you just be sitting on the sidelines being like, come on.
Yeah.
I JJ, I felt really bad. I was like, oh, that'd be terrible.
Be the person to do it, the same person to do it twice, be the reason that you get,
and it's because of leg cramps. I'd be like, get your blank together. Like, I don't care. Get up there.
In 4 hours, your cramps are going to go away. Come on.
Yeah.
You're not taking a 4-hour penalty. Sit there for an hour.
Right? I didn't get that at all. I was like, come on.
Have some water.
I was disappointed. Where's your electrolytes? Come on. Everyone knows to bring electrolytes on the race.
Yes. So I'm going to go and get some of Jen's thoughts for this episode. I'll rush through them. She was shocked to see how far behind Corinne and Eliza were. They were 2 hours behind when they first left the leg. Laos looks amazing, loves the ceremony. But arrival order didn't seem to matter anything. That's true. She loved Corinne and Eliza for blocking the tuk-tuk. Didn't understand why Rachel and Alyssa are going to U-turn some team fun. If you're going to U-turn somebody, why not try to U-turn the best teams?
Yeah.
Afghanimals, again, with their manipulation of teams, they're right. You U-turn fun, had to U-turn someone, but she's like, now they're starting to, kind of irk her a little bit. Detours. Uh, Christy and her would have chosen barbecue, although ABC sounded more challenging. However, knowing how difficult the alphabet is, she wouldn't have even tried that. With that said, it looked like it was the faster of the two. Very impressed with Corinne and Eliza. The roadblocks, she loved the elephants. She loves Victor and Nicole, their relationship. Seemed like a crapshoot. It kind of stinks if you lose because of a bad animal. Overall, she doesn't like the way the Afghanimals are racing. She thinks it's kind of shady, and they're talking so much smack on Corinne and Eliza for blocking the tuk-tuk, but they can't. They could dish it, but they can't take it. Shady, shady. And so she's going to give the extremely desperate move of the episode to the Afghanimals for the way that they went after Nicole at the end. She thought it was extremely desperate, and it's getting her extremely desperate move of the episode.
Oh.
Whoa. Meanwhile, I'm going to give the superfan move of the episode to the Afghanimals because I think that they two different moves combined for like the ultimate superfan moves. So part of those two great moves with the U-turn board not getting any blood on their hands, as well as the end with Nicole, they're definitely going to get my superfan move.
Yep, I agree.
So, you've been watching ever since your season, or Die Hard? Are you a Die Harder?
Yes, I love Amazing Race, and I watched it way before we were on, so super fan all the way.
Awesome. So, who are some of your favorite teams to ever run the race?
Oh gosh, favorite teams to win the race.
To run the race, they don't have necessarily win the race, but who are some of your favorite teams to watch?
Oh gosh, well, favorite teams to. Hi, my dog's whining at me. He's like, "Come on, Mom, I want to go out." It's funny because I loved Bopper from our season.
Yeah,
he was entertaining and fun. I know that he was on again, and he was not on very long, which was unfortunate. So hopefully he gets on because he is very entertaining. Who else do I love? Gosh, you might hate that I say this, but the basketball guys, I think they're just funny.
The Globetrotters?
Yeah, but they kind of wore on me the last one that they were on. I was like, oh, okay, their time is over.
Yeah, I mean, a fourth time would be crazy, but I wouldn't put it past CBS.
I know, right? But they were really entertaining. Like the first season they were on, I really digged them. They were
yeah.
Yeah. I keep thinking of like all the winners because I would want to just see those guys come back, of course.
So you'd want to see, I know it's kind of biased because you are a winner, but you would want to see a winner season, all winner season?
I think that'd be fun, yeah. So okay. I keep thinking like, Ernie and Cindy, and yeah, I'm thinking of all the winners right now. So that would be fun.
That would be interesting. See some on all winner season, or the best of the best, just to see who the best it is once and for all. Winner take all.
Yep.
Well, I really appreciate you jumping on. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. I know a lot of the fans love speaking to a lot of the alumni, and you always have a place in the Amazing Race record books. So you'll always have a place in Amazing Race lore. And obviously,
it's fun hanging out.
You are attached to the green team forever, so you might as well have a relationship.
Because we're so close to tying that record, but it's so far away, right, Justin?
Correct.
So close, buddy.
We never used the fast forward to get. We didn't use it.
You should have.
Ours got canceled because of weather for the second time.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
In the history of the race. We were in the lead that leg.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, no, it was so awesome. I appreciate you for joining us. You're always welcome if you ever want to come on, ever have anything to say. I don't know if there's anything you're promoting and you want people to know about. You're welcome to promote it.
No. Just promoting the Amazing Race because it's the best show ever, and I want it to be on so I can compete with my daughter in 18 years. So it should stay on for a long time.
I agree. I think that would be awesome. Cool. My kids are going to race against your kids.
Right? Or no, it's going to be you and Charlie, or Diana and Charlie, and me and Reese.
Uh-oh. The new family edition. I like that.
Yeah, there you
generation.
go.
It's been on
Yeah,
long enough. All
I
right.
know.
Well, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Okay.
Everybody out there, we appreciate all your time. We know it's the most valuable thing you have. So thank you for spending some time with us. You got plenty of time for Game of Thrones, the longest episode in the history of Game of Thrones, the most expensive episode in the history of television, the Battle of Winterfell. It's coming tonight. Are you excited?
Oh, I dressed up for Game of Thrones for Halloween, but I actually don't watch it.
Well, dress up anyway. Take some photos for the web.
I don't watch any TV except for The Amazing Race.
Wow.
I know. My show.
Love it. Thanks so much. Have a good time.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.